Okay. This is, we're in my favorite part of the course right now. This is just after the Mount Horeb roundabout. And I think I was turning around in the Assisted Living Center parking lot, which is always fun because a lot of times they'll have them sitting out there and they all have signs and everything like that right out by the edge of the road. And so anyway, we're coming out of Mount Horeb and we're going to turn right here on where are we turning right here? Oh, this is County Highway S. Look at that. This here, this is a short, maybe a mile or something like that. Just kind of, this would be kind of the roads that I don't really like because they're sort of major roads. But you're only on it for about, like I said, a mile. Kind of get up here, you got a nice little gradual downhill, and then eventually we'll turn left onto Witte Road. I think this downhill is very pleasant. I don't know. But once we turn into Witty, that's when I think the fun starts. Pretty good. This is another section, actually. You can get some nice speed here. Make up a little time that you just lost on that climb into Mount Horeb. Nothing crazy, but you get your body a little more used to speed here because it's going to happen. There's actually, I think, 2 places on Witte Road where you can get that high 30s thing going. So, actually, this is on a different day, so if I'm not mistaken, I have a weird thing happen with some guy trying to get on my left right here. And he's like on the inside of me right now, and I'm trying to turn left, and there's a car behind us. So I have to pull over into this little area here, delaying my favorite section of the course, and then this car stops and waves us through, which was interesting. There's a lot of very cordial car drivers out on this course. They've become accustomed to it, I think, and were probably very mad at one point, but now they've just accepted it, and they're giving you the Midwestern hospitality. So this is a good chance to get on it right here. The beginning of Witte Road, and in a second I'll show you why I love this road, or not a second, in about a minute I'll show you why I really love this road. Good speed here, coming into a little hill, and I think you can kind of get up this in your big, I say that now, but I think I might have stayed in my big ring. That's the beginning. Good speed. Get over this thing, and then it sort of flattens out a little bit, but up there you see the 2 or 3 silos on the right. That's where what I think is the, coolest looking section of this course. You can see it all unfold in front of you. Come up here, you take a little right, and then a snake left, and then you're into the main parts of Witte Road. Again, so this is where the downhill starts on this road. It flattens out a little bit here, but right there, I think you can get some good speed going, and then you'll curl around to the left up here, and once you get here, you can kind of see the roller coasters all out in front of you, and it's really pretty. But right now you want to be kind of going after it because there's 1, 2, ski hills up ahead. You're cooking pretty good right here. I don't know if I would call this a hill, but you can kind of get over it in your big ring there. Then it's flat again for a while. And this road, you know, country road, but it's not really that bad. This is, I think, the signature section of the course. Still rolling pretty fast through here. Trying to remember. I think this one is the one you want to be careful of. Yeah, you think you can get over this one, but I'm definitely in my small ring here. One of the sneaker hills on the course right here. So yeah, when we go down another hill and then climb around a corner up here to the right. So I'm in my little ring here probably, and I don't even mess with my big ring because it's so close to this next hill. I just kind of keep it where it's at, get as much speed as possible. And then be in the right gear, because this is another little pincher here, and then you got to kind of go up a little bit to the right when you get to the top. So, but it's so important to get into these hills, because like right, you know, I'm pretty good into it right now, and now I'm starting to grind a little bit, and then you got to kind of there's always this little, like, around the corner a little more hill, and then you get up here, and then it's still a little gradual climb for a bit. And this is one thing about this course is I don't know if it'll be reflected here, but probably not. But when you're out there, you kind of look ahead and you're like, damn, that looks like another huge hill coming. But if you get you got some good speed here and you get into the downhill, and I'm probably in my big ring here again, and I'm getting after it right now because it's good. And then this hill, once you get to it, isn't as bad as it looks. But it's still one of those tweeners. I don't know if a lot of times in training I'll just push over it in the big gear or whatever, but I think right about here you might be better off being in your small ring again, because you're going to be trapped at the end. And then not only that, as I talked about earlier, once we turn left here, beautiful farms. If you like farms, you're going to like this course. Yeah, you saw me wearing a wristband there. So I'm still kind of climbing up. And then you're like looking out and you're like, damn, is that another hill up ahead? But thankfully we turn left right here before we get to it. What is this road again? This is like the most annoying section of the course. So turn right on. This is the beginning in Garfoot. So Garfoot is the most intriguing road on this course. So you get going fast here. Once again, you got to be ready to jump it a little bit, because there's going to be opportunities. And then you got to climb here, and this is where it sucks. Because from this point on, up to, I guess you take a left on Mineral Point Road. I'm going to say this is maybe a couple miles from here, but it's this annoying in between big ring, small ring, where are you kind of section. And but this particular day I had the wind at my back, so it didn't seem as bad. But a lot of times the wind's in your face. And from here up till Mineral Point Road, where we take a left and then get back on the Garfoot. But yeah, it's just kind of a it's kind of a cool little road, but it's like I said, it's gradual uphill the whole way. So, and it's almost a false flat. So you think you can kind of get after it, but it's never a good idea in my opinion. Yeah, it looks like coming up on that guy that kind of inside laned me before we turned. He's a nice guy. Talk to him up here. But yeah, right here, like you can tell it's a little bit of an uphill. Very beautiful. Very quiet road. With another farm. I don't know if you've seen any farms on this video yet. But they're out there. If you look hard enough. And then still, you're just climbing up to this little left turn. But so you got Witte Road, and then you have this section of Garfoot. And quick little turn on Mineral Point and then back on the Garfoot, where you have another little climb right away on Garfoot, but after that, it is smooth sailing for a while. Oh, and yeah, there's a group of Harley riders that goes by up here, so I think I have to stop.
How's it going,
for a second.
Good.
See? He's a nice guy. He said he's doing good. We got a rumbling Harley party coming by. I was real happy they didn't turn onto Garfoot because I'm sure they wouldn't have been going as fast as we were going down that hill. So we get up here. Beautiful American flag. He circumvents the move again. Gets out, but then he offers me the go-ahead. This is interesting.
Okay. Thank you.
He's going to follow me now.
You know where you're going?
Oh, you going down Garfoot here?
Yeah. You?
See, we had a nice talk there.
Got it. It's the fastest part of the course.
Yeah. I think you're a little faster.
So yeah, this is the fastest part of the course right here. And again, look at this corner. You know, there's gravel here, so just kind of, I just go straight through it. Not a lot, but I don't know. I just think it's important to corner like on stuff like that because you're already into a downhill. You might as well use it because this one is. Now these hills don't look that big on video, and they're not necessarily that big, but they always hit you about right here. Just to get up and over this thing. And I would just chill this. I mean, whatever it takes to get up this little section here of Garfoot. Because once you get to the top, it's on for about 5 miles. And I'll explain why. So this, now you crest and you have, there's my wristband.
16.1 right now.
He's at Oh, he said that's me actually. I said I was at 16.1 miles an hour average to this point. And technically, I'm about. Normally, I didn't start in Verona this day. I started in Cross Plains, so I'm I'm about 20 miles in or more. So at 16.1 miles an hour at the start of Garfoot, you can tell, like, you know, if you're super afraid of downhills, I wouldn't get on it like this. Maybe you could probably just actually get going and coast from here for at least a mile, probably. But I like to get it a little bit, and you're gonna hit this corner right here, which will have a little gravel maybe, so be careful. And I'm braking actually, because with open roads and no race. But you know, you're going 40 to low 40s right through here for sure. And this is so cool. You kind of curl through this little wooded area, and then get to the end of this, and it's a sort of a right turn that banks up. Or actually, no, there's a left turn first. But when you get down here, it kind of banks to the right. Once again, hopefully they sweep, because usually there's gravel at the corner here. But coming through here is really cool. Checking for traffic, and then I come through here, and you'll be able to see some of the gravel right there. You got to go straight through it. And then you're still going downhill here, still going relatively fast. Curl around through here, and then it sort of flattens out. But you still have really good momentum that you want to take advantage of right here. This section right here is about from the top of Garfoot to County Highway KP. You can make up a half a mile an hour or a mile an hour depending on which loop and how fast you are on this section. So it's about 5 miles, I think. Not much climbing at all. It's usually pretty flat, but if you can carry that momentum out of Garfoot, this whole section is kind of there for the taking. And I would take it. This road isn't as bad as it looks. It's not great, but it's a nice section. Again, I don't hammer it through here, but I gear down a little bit and just kind of keep a solid cadence, and you can really have some decent momentum from that hill. And then you have these little dips again that are there for the taking. Actually, at the end of this road before that KP, there's a little bit of a grind situation again, but for the most part, this is pretty flat, downward grade. There's some farms. Beautiful day. It was about 70 degrees, which is hopefully what race day will be like. This is in August. Usually Wisconsin race day is about 70 to 75. Last year it was 50 and rainy and windy. So we just can't have that again. Because as you can imagine, this course in the rain and wind is just brutal. I actually think on this particular day I had the wind at my back right here, which was even nicer. But yeah, by the time I got to the KP highway, whatever that is, 4 or 5 miles, I had gone from 16.1 miles an hour to 16.7. Even though I think I said 16.8, but for those of you who remember that one year when they took out the 3 bitches, or 2 of them, this is the turn right here to Barlow. And that was a son of a, that hill, 3-tiered hill with the last one, the last section, pretty long. I don't know, I think it was like 15% grade or something like that, they said. It was definitely something. That was at about mile 40. So I guess technically, if this was your first loop, you'd be at about mile 40 right now. That sound right? 40, 45, something like that, probably 40. And we're still cruising along here. Some farms. There's a rider. Sometimes they go the other way out here. I guess that's good. Ride the loop in reverse. Maybe that helps you get to know it even better. So yeah, you know, again, I just think that it's very difficult to understand this course because there's not a lot of benchmark or you know, what do you call those things? Recognizable monuments of sorts. It's just kind of beautiful country roads. Cows. There's some beautiful cows out here. A few horses. Nice people. I think maybe this is our left turn when we turn onto Highway KP. And make our way into Cross Plains. Cross Plains, a beautiful little city with another quick trip. You know, quick story. I think I was going to lacrosse, and I think the first quick trip ever was in my college. My buddy worked there, and we used to go there all the time. But yeah, this little bit of a climb here, and then it goes back down, and then you curl around to KP. But this is the end of what I would call the Garfoot section. And once again, it can be your friend if you're ready to ride it. Just have that kind of tenacity to come over those little crests and use these opportunities, like right here, all the way up to Highway KP. We'll take a right, and you know, this isn't the race, and there's traffic and everything out there. But I would really want to be setting up to take this corner well. It's another one of those like flat arrow sections, maybe a couple, two miles or so. And you're better off getting into it. Kind of a decent road that gets a little bit better as you get closer to Cross